Okay, but the first thing you have to know is there's amazing plays. There's just amazing plays, front to back to side to everywhere. Okay, all you have to do is pay attention. Okay, very easy price action. Very easy price action is right now. Okay, just today, we were able to catch some IW inputs over 100%. Okay, yesterday Google. I wish I held these. I really do wish I held these. These would have been over 2,000%. But like I said, somebody held them, and was able to turn $44 into 1,000. Right. So the plays are here. The plays are here. Okay. The only thing you got to make sure you do is that you're not on the wrong side of trades, and you get not on the wrong side of trades by paying attention, man. Paying attention to some of these live videos, listening, not being a sheep. There's people that really thought Trump was gonna bomb 90 million people. Like at some point, like this is like an IQ test. Okay, okay. If you have a very low IQ and you thought Trump was gonna bomb 90 million people and you were bearish heading into that and you got puts, like you come on, man. Think, use your brain. Okay, this is what this is all about. You got to use your brain, and this is what we're gonna be talking about uh, for this live, really. Okay, for this live, you just got to use your brain. Just use your brain, and you're gonna do very, very well. Okay. All right. So if you've been paying attention at all, we gapped up. But will this gap last? I don't really want to get into that. Okay. I really want to look at some specific plays. I really want to look at some different things that we can get into, etc. Now we are getting news that the ceasefire, like they're saying it's bogus, and they want Lebanon included and Spain. Like that stuff we kind of got to pay attention to, and Israel isn't even aware of what is going on with the ceasefire. So there's all things that are basically saying that, is the deal really here? Is the deal is the deal really here? Is it not? That's the main thesis that is treading the stock market right now. And to be honest, I think we could possibly, I'm not gonna say we will, but we could possibly reverse this entire move just to have a bigger rally later when there actually is a better deal. And maybe I don't know. I don't know. We got to pay attention to the news. But the news right now is basically telling us that is it like, we don't know. We don't know if there's a ceasefire. They're still bombing. We don't know if there's a deal. Israel ain't included. So there's a lot of conflicting things happening. So I think that's the most important thing in the news. And if you don't know, we are in a news type of market ish, using your brain type of market ish. So you want to keep that in your mind while you're getting into some of these plays, etc. The main thing I'm focusing on are these three levels right here. It looks like we're actually rejecting 606, and that'll bring us to 601. And then below 601 is where the fun could start for maybe some put plays. Okay. Now I do believe the market has. You could tell by the TikTok. You can tell by the title that we have. Like SPY is gonna, or the Qs is gonna end up getting to 700 plus. Okay, I believe the Qs gets to 700 plus. The S&P gets to like 800 plus. I believe there's a massive rally, but is it gonna play out right now? I don't know. Okay, so I don't plan on being live for too long tonight. I'm like, my throat kind of hurts a little bit. I'm sick a little bit, so I don't plan on being live for too long today. We're gonna look at a few plays. If you were in the live, on Sunday, and you caught anything we said on Sunday, there's no way you shouldn't have made any money. Okay, there's no way. There's no way. Okay. There's no way you shouldn't have made money. Okay? There's just no way. But anyways, let's look at some plays for today. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at, and we shall look at them. We shall look at them. Coin, SPY, SPY 800. So do you think puts for tomorrow? Like, I don't know. I don't know. We kind of got to look at the price action. Let's look at Tesla, though, because a lot of people have been getting cooked on Tesla. Okay? A lot of people have been getting cooked on Tesla. A lot of people have been getting cooked on Tesla. The reason being for getting cooked on Tesla is because you got to pay attention to these levels, okay? We talked about 357 holding. It did not hold, okay? 357 did not hold. So now the level to pay attention to, and I actually think Tesla has a huge rally in store. It's just a matter of, when is this gonna bottom? And to be honest, I think it could be around 320. Okay, I think the bottom for something like Tesla is 320, because that'll be from the swing low to the swing high. Okay, so that's the main type of entry I'm looking for, and that'll even put us in a hidden weekly divergence that we see right here. Okay, so hidden weekly bull divergence. So that's a huge time frame, and I think it could potentially play out when we get to 321. So there's no way I'd be looking at really long Tesla just yet. I think there could be some lower price targets headed for Tesla. I'm looking for 321. And like I said, if the Qs and all this ceasefire nonsense is fake, right? And there's not actually a deal, then Tesla could definitely start inching to 321. I think that'll be a better bounce area for it. Like a lot of people want to know when this is gonna bounce, okay? And it bounces, but it gets sold off. It bounces, but it gets sold off. So 321 looks like it's in the works. Okay, I'd wait for it to get there. All right, Robinhood, 680 open tomorrow. SPY, IWM. What stocks we looking at, man? What stocks are we looking at tonight? I don't plan on being live for too long tonight. I really don't. We're making too much money. Okay, we're just making too much money. We're just doing too. We're just doing too much. Okay, we're just we're just doing too much good stuff in here. Okay, to where it's like, come on, man. Come on, dog. Somebody said Meta. Somebody said I would also like to do too much. I'm weak. AMD. Let's look at AMD. I think AMD could be a good one. But for Meta, it's an interesting one because it did have that AI news, and it did even go up crazy today. So like it went absolutely nuclear. Like you could have got some Meta calls and turned 500 into 50,000 in a matter of an hour. So that's the beauty of options. Now it looks like Meta is in a rejection zone right now. I'll be paying attention to that, but I'm just not quite interested. Um, after it had this massive rally. Okay, now it needs to hold 616 for it to start inching to 660. Okay, I will say that. That's the main thing. But other than that, like I don't want to. What I don't want to do, like we came live on Sunday and when everything was in discount, everything was perfect. Okay, I was literally saying that, like we're gonna squeeze so hard. Okay, now what I don't want to do after we squoze, if that's even a word, I don't even know if that's a word. What I don't want to do after we squoze is get people super bulled up right here without some sort of bear trap or pullback. We talked about the bear trap on Sunday. We said there's a bear trap. If you get any dip, buy it. There's a squeeze coming. That's what we told you, and that's exactly what happened. So what I'm saying right now is, I kind of want to, I want some discounts. Like I want to see if the ceasefire is still here. I want to see if that stuff, how they're going to work that out, etc. So I don't want to say this is overly bullish just yet. I want to see it holding above 616. I want to see some. That's what I want to see. I want to see it holding above 616. I want to see it holding above 616. AMD. Let's look at AMD though. Now AMD is very interesting. Okay, AMD. This is what I mean. Man. There's some. I think there could be some very good plays out there. Now AMD, in my opinion, it needs to break. Like if you want to be bearish on something like AMD, it needs to break below 227. Okay, and it looks like it could. It looks like it could. Like right now, like I can't like. I want to say the entire move gets reversed. Like I really want to say that, but I want to see some things play out in the market. As the market opens and where we see more price action. But so there's certain levels that I'm watching. So I like and I hate people that be like, oh, you're above 227, it's bullish. Below 227 is bearish. Well, no kidding, right? Like duh. It's gonna go up or down. Thanks a lot. So I don't like doing that, and that's why I just don't want to be live for too long today. Like we got to see some things. Like I want to see there's a lot of uncertainty. So I will say uncertainty does lead to a lot of bearishness and a lot of selling. So maybe with maybe, but I like it below 227. Okay, below 227 we can see 220. Etc. And this has actually ran up quite a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised for a nice little pullback. Okay, but what I wouldn't do is be overly bullish right here. I wouldn't be overly bullish right here because you kind of already missed the real bull move, right? Like April 2nd, it went up $20, you know, and then it went up another 30. Like it's had a $30 move just this month in the past 8 days. So I don't want to come in here and tell you guys be overly bullish on something like AMD. Although we know the Qs is gonna get to 700. We know this is coming. We know all this is coming. But is it gonna come? Is it gonna come right now? Could we pull back a little bit and then get that massive move beginning of May? And so that's what I'm paying attention to. All right, but I do like this below 227, and that's what I'd be paying attention to. All right, bro, this is a bear trap. I hope we get a bear trap. I really really do. I really really do hope we get some sort of a bear trap. Okay, put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. We talked about the bear trap coming in on Sunday, and we made a whole bunch of money coming into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I think we're gonna make a whole bunch of money on the back end of this week, Thursday, Friday. Now we just gotta we gotta see, we gotta see. What's really about to cook is Costco. Is tomorrow green? Let me look at something really quick, okay? Somebody says tomorrow green. Look, man, if I knew that, I'll tell all you guys, okay? I'll be like, yo, tomorrow gonna be green, man. Take out your house mortgage, take out everything you own, and put it all on some calls. I will tell you, trust me. But I will say, if we're looking at putting calls, like this thing is still elevated, super elevated, like elevated to the point of April tariffs, okay? So I'm not opposed to us being super bullish. Which I do believe we are super bullish. I want to look at one thing before we look at Costco. Okay, I like we can look at all the plays you guys want. We can look at every single stock ticker you guys want. But the main thing, if you don't have the narrative, if you don't have the direction, like if you don't have the consensus, like the thought process. Like I said, this is a thinking market. Okay, you got to use your brain just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so I want to look at what happened in the April tariffs, okay? Because Trump is running the same playbook, okay? He's running the same playbook. A lot of people turned absolutely bearish right here. I told you we came on here live. This is where you want to be bullish, okay? We're going on all-time highs. And when the Q's is at 400 down here, I was like, Q's is going to 600. We went to 600. We actually went to 630. Now I'm telling you, Trump ran the same playbook, and we're going to 700. I think we're going to end up going to 700. But first, this is when all the tariffs, kind of got, transformed it, whatever happened to them. And we kind of just consolidated. Like we kind of were in a range from, 467 to 427. Now we didn't reverse the full candle like you see right here. That like this is a $50 day. I don't know who's in the market that day. This is a $50 day. And, we kind of just stayed inside of that candle. Okay. Now we didn't have a $50 day, but, we could stay inside of this weekly of this monthly. Let me see, of this monthly candle. This is the monthly candle. We could stay inside of this, okay, and chop. Okay, we could stay inside of it and chop because what you have to realize is that 2 weeks from now is where the the deal is still being worked out. Like we don't have a real one yet, right? So it could just stay inside of this, okay. I'm monitoring the situation. Anyways. Let's look at Costco. Let's look at Costco because bro said he likes me so much. He's going to give us a banger, and he said it's Costco. Yeah, Costco's gone, bro. Yeah, Costco's gone. You should have gave us this yesterday. You should have DM'd me and told me to get into Costco yesterday. It does still look bullish. It does still looks like it's going all-time highs, but this thing is gone, and it is even breaking out. Okay, but it's gone. It's gone, and I think it can continue. I think it can get to all-time highs. I think it looks very good, but I like it. I actually do like it. I'll be paying attention to it. But for something like this, like I would really want to see it down here. Let's look at Microsoft. A lot of people want to get into Microsoft. A lot of people are very bullish on Microsoft. Microsoft reversed this entire move today. Okay, it's garbage. It's garbage. It's garbage. But I will say the good news is that this was a rejection zone for it. Okay, if you look at Microsoft, like this was a rejection zone for it. Now, big picture, this could come all the way back down to 367. Okay, this come back down to 367. But I would say on a bigger time frame, this is massively, like massively bullish. Okay, and this is why I firmly believe we're gonna get, like, the Qs is gonna get to 700, and we're gonna get a massive rally in the S&P 500, etc. Because you look at some of these monthly time frame charts, hidden monthly divergence. The RSI is the lowest it's been since 2010. Okay, the other low that it was in when people thought we were in a recession back in 2022. And then now you got this monthly hidden bull divergence. Okay, I think Microsoft has a huge move to the upside. Okay, it matches up with me believing the market goes to new all-time highs. Anyways, let's move on. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. IONQ. Let's look at MU, because MU is actually one of my favorite stocks to look at. And like I said, I don't plan on being live for too long tonight. But MU is possibly one of my favorite stocks to be looking at, and it just hit a massive resistance. Okay, now what you have to realize about MU is that this is a $1 trillion stock. Okay, this is a $1 trillion stock. I think MU can get to 600 plus, but it just hit, what did it just hit? You come over here, you draw this to the downside from the swing high to the swing low, and it literally came to where the rejection is. Okay, so this is where you get puts, and this is where you don't necessarily want to be overly bullish, because what do we call this, ladies and gentlemen? What do we call this level? This is the victim level. Okay, this is the victim level. And by victim level, I mean if you're overly bullish right here, like we just saw with people today, you're gonna get cooked, because this is the level that it actually needs to start trading above. I would look for it to trade above it on the daily, like you get some daily retest on it or something. Okay, because this is the level that's going to take you back to new all-time highs. Okay, so it's going to give you a little fight right here, but it needs to trade above for you to get that new all-time highs. Until then, it looks like it can go back to 390. Okay, I'd be looking at it to go to 390. And like I said, if the ceasefire and the and they're adding stuff to the peace deal, and they want other stuff, and Trump hasn't even said anything, which is funny. So that's something to monitor. Okay, a bear trap incoming. I sure hope so. I think a bear trap can come. Okay, and that's what's boosting us. Okay, when people start getting massively bearish, okay, like right here, like we saw right here, this bear trap. This is a bear trap, and reverse the entire bear trap. We might, like, why not just get another bear trap and make it even more bearish, so we can then go back to all-time highs. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense for you guys, because that's what I think is gonna end up happening. Okay, I don't like, we kind of like, it's been kind of a news market, and a bear trap would definitely be amazing back to 680 on the Qs, and then we get that move to all-time highs, and maybe the deal is just too good. Like, we gotta, that's what I'm focusing on. Okay, and that's what we're focusing on in Discord. We've been going absolutely crazy. If you're not in, link is in the bio. Okay, today IWM, yesterday Google, the day before that Google, and then Microsoft was a miss. Okay, so amazing plays. Like, these are all plays that go over 100%, 1,000%, if you will. But anyways, I don't want to hold you guys up for too long tonight. Like I said, I'm sick, and there's a lot of news. Like, I think we even have CPI and PCE. We have PCE tomorrow and CPI on Friday, I believe. So I'm paying attention to that. I don't want to come on here and do too much, because Sunday was the live stream. I did too much, and that has played out to the fullest. Right? We got the squeeze, we got the bear trap, we got everything we talked about. So today is a be cautious. Be cautious. Could we reverse the whole move up to the upside? I think it's a possibility. A lot of uncertain news coming out. Like, they're saying the peace deal, like we talked about the entire stream. But yeah, you guys have a blessed rest of your night. I'll be live again Sunday. Okay, I'll be live again Sunday. We'll be talking about some stuff. All right. I'll talk to you guys later, man. I'm out. Peace.